You should look sweet because this shit boring back here.
Yep. Alright, so let me take a sip of this pimp juice real quick. Damn, this shit nasty. It is your boy Volandis, and by the title of this video, y'all can know that I'm about to teach y'all some ways on how to, well, just some tips on some life lessons, really, some life lessons that I learned from the 5 years I've been doing photography, and some shit I'm still learning today to, like, you know what I'm saying, not necessarily make you a better photographer, but to, you know, put you in a mindset to be a better photographer. So yeah, these are like 5 tips to be a better photographer mentally, I think, in my opinion. Tip number 1, and I had to learn this tip. Actually, I didn't have to learn this tip at all because when I started, I always did this. So like, but a lot of people, they don't, you know, and this is with anything, not just photography, but if you do anything creatively and like, yeah, just, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, tip number 1, always shoot and do what you're doing for the right reasons. I find that a lot of people get into photography or get into, you know, music or whatever it is because they want something from it instead of, you know what I'm saying, trying to give something to the game. A lot of people get into things and they want money, they want notoriety, they want recognition, girls, money, whatever it is. I think I said money twice because that's just really important to some people. And as money is important, it's not the most important thing, especially if you're doing something creative. I find that when I'm doing things and I'm not getting paid for it, I have a bigger drive to do it, and I also create better because I know like I'm creating within like my own realms of like my imagination and like what I want to do. I love like I do what I do for a living and I love it. This is literally what I wanted to do for a living. It's like amazing when you could turn your passion into a job. So it's dope. But when I'm doing things like just for me and me only, I find that I get the best results. I don't have to listen to anybody. I don't have to do this or do that. Like I can just do it how I want to do it. The energy you put into it is the energy you get back. So like a lot of people, especially me, I can tell when people are doing things for the wrong reasons. I can tell when people don't really care about like what they're doing and they're just trying to get likes or, you know what I'm saying, money or whatever the case may be. If you do photography or anything creative for that matter, you should be doing it because you love it and you have a passion for it and you want to better yourself as an artist, not just for the money and fame, as they may say. So yeah, that's rule number 1. Actually, tip number 1, yeah. Okay, so tip number 2, and I had to learn this tip like almost a year into photography, and that is to like not compare your work to other people's work, because you would really get yourself discouraged comparing yourself to a lot of other people. I've learned that a lot of people on the internet, okay, so we're talking about the internet, we're talking about Instagram, Twitter, not necessarily Twitter because they wilding on Twitter, but we're talking about Instagram mainly. A lot of people don't post their fails and their bad times on Instagram. All you see is happy, good times, people traveling here, people getting paid to do this, shooting for such and such and this and that, but nobody is showing when they didn't have those things or they weren't doing those things. And we've all been there, unless you're like super rich and, you know what I'm saying, you got a camera and you can pay to fucking travel all over the world and do whatever the fuck you want. But for most of us, I would assume, we can't all do that. Some of us work jobs. Like when I first started, I worked a regular job. I couldn't just, you know what I'm saying, go out and shoot whenever I wanted to. And then a lot of people, they have other responsibilities. Like some people have families and, you know, bills and other shit like that. So like a lot of people can't do what some people are able to do. But back on topic, comparing yourself to other people will literally be the downfall. Cause like I would see people shoot for Jordan, I'm seeing people shoot for Nike, I'm seeing people shoot for these rappers and like these celebrities and shit like that. I'm like, dog, like I'm never gonna be able to do that. Like what's my purpose? Like I have no purpose at all. It's no point for me to even be shooting because I'll never be on these people's level. And then I had to get that shit out of my head quick because going back to tip number 1, I started photography for me and myself only, and because I love like just seeing pictures in general. And that goes with tip number 1 as well. Once you start doing it for you and you know what I'm saying, you're passionate about it, those type of things will come. Companies will start hitting you up to take pictures for them. You'll be able to travel over the world, US or whatever country you live in. And then you'll be able to start to do all these things because you have the passion and drive to, you know, make it to that point. But it's really hard to like see people doing these things and you're like, you know, working your shitty ass job and all these people are doing this, but you know you're a good photographer or you're a good artist, but you're not, you know, at that level yet. But it just takes time, and everybody that's comparing themselves to another person, just know that those people had it bad. I mean, most of those people had to go through the same shit at a point in time. So yeah, tip number 2, don't compare yourself to nobody. Tip number 3, I would say, is to set goals for yourself. I found that like when I first started shooting and like doing photography, like when I had a goal or I had projects and I wanted to meet these goals by certain times, that I worked harder, you know what I'm saying? Like I worked harder and I had something to look forward to once I got like hitting 10K Instagram followers. Like that's not big to some people, and it's, you know, numbers don't matter, but that's a goal to work forward to, you know what I'm saying? Like, so just having a goal to work forward to makes you push yourself a lot more. So like once I hit 10K, I wanted 20K, then I wanted 30, then I wanted 40, and so on. That just gave me the drive to keep, and everybody wants their work to be seen by, you know, all over the world and by different eyes and shit like that. So just like setting those goals for myself made me a better, not necessarily a better photographer, but it like definitely pushed me to like do better, and just like little projects I had set for myself, and just like mini goals, like make it on to like a certain type of magazine, or like have my photos in this magazine, or, you know, have this person notice me, or this and that, and all this other shit. But yeah, I would just say set goals for yourself, because when you set a goal and you meet that goal, then you have new goals to set, and you keep meeting goals, and really that's how you grow as an artist, in my opinion. So yeah, set goals for yourself. Tip number 3. Tip number 4, and this is probably my most important tip on the entire list, and besides like number 1 or whatever, like this is like one of the most important tips. And tip number 4 is to be yourself. A lot of people are like caught up in like what's cool nowadays and like what's popping on the gram and all this other shit, and nobody, like, really originality lacks in the photography. Not only because it's oversaturated, just because like a lot of people see certain shit doing numbers, and like they want to do that because it's like an easy way to get known and to get recognized. But like being yourself is literally probably like, I'd rather be myself and be known by like 10 people than to fucking jock someone's whole style and to like copy someone's whole style and their way of like doing shit and be known by everybody. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people are gonna know, especially if that person is well known that you're copying, a lot of people are gonna be like, that shit looks like this. And I don't want nobody to say my work looks like anybody's work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to fucking stand on my own 2 feet and be who I am as an artist. And when people see my work and my name's not attached to it, they still know it's my shit, because they're like, yo, this is Volandis. I can tell by this and I can tell by that. And just like, if you want to be successful, a lot of people aren't gonna want somebody to do something that literally 1,000 other people can do. If you're shooting cityscape, try to make it your own. I know a lot of people shoot cityscape. Try to make it your own. Do different type of editing, different type of whatever you gotta do. If you shoot portraits, you know what I'm saying, do whatever the fuck you do. If you wanna, I know a lot of like people shoot fucking just girls, but like they shoot girls in a certain type of way. Then some people shoot like just, I don't want to put nobody into a box or anything, but you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you're gonna shoot like, or do anything for that matter, just make sure you're being your own person and doing your own shit, because originality is really like the fucking key to fucking success, honestly. Because when you bring something new and fresh to the table, people fuck with that, and you're probably more likely to get. And if it's like, if you bring something new and fresh to the table and people have never seen it before, they're gonna be like, yo, what the fuck is this? Then they're gonna be like, let me look this nigga up, let me go see his shit. Oh, I fuck with this. Follow this and that. Brands. Oh, fuck with that. Hit them up. Let's get them over here to shoot some shit. You know what I'm saying? So just be yourself and don't copy nobody's shit. And if you do copy somebody's shit, pay fucking, what the fuck is it called? Homage? Pay fucking homage to the fucking person you're copying. And don't act like you created a wave that's been started. Like, I shoot niggas with guns and shit, but there's people who shot niggas with guns way before me. I'm the first person to shoot people with guns in the style that I do. I see all those photos and I'm like, how can I make my shit different from that shit? Like, and when I started shooting photos, I didn't even know about these photographers because I was a new photographer myself. I didn't know about any fucking photographers, to be completely honest. So I had nobody's work to fucking steal from. I noticed these photographers way after I started doing what I was doing. So like, for me, I got lucky. And just like me developing my style, I was able to do whatever I want, cityscape, portraits, fucking products. I was able to do it all in a style that I wanted to do it because I already have my own style from the beginning. So I just incorporated that with that. Anyway, enough of the bullshit. Tip number 4, be original. Tip number 5, and super important tip, clearly, is to fucking have fun. If you're not having fun or loving what you're doing, then it goes back to tip number 1. Why are you even doing it in the first place? You should be having fun. Every time I got my camera in my hand, I'm out in this bitch having a ball. So like, have fun, do what you do, make fucking dope shit, and just, you know, then if you're not having fun with what you're doing, then you just need to find something else to do, period. So yeah, rule number 5, have fun and do what the fuck you do. This was just like a little talk video, not really a rant video. I just wanted people, cause like a lot of people ask me like just some tips I can give to beginning photographers all the time. Like I get DM'd damn near every day, like, yo, any tips for like a beginning photographer? I just started shooting yesterday. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think those are better tips than like teaching people how to actually use a camera. Like when you first start, like, and you don't even know how to use a camera all the way, those tips are way better because then you put it in your mind, you want to go about and how you want to move with what you do. So like, yeah, simple as that. Just 5 tips to be a better photographer mentally, not really physically at all, I guess. But yeah, this is just, those 5 tips are just tips that worked for me. Are they gonna instantly make you the fucking man? No. Are they like meant for everybody? No, I guess not. But they just worked for me, and it's my opinion. So yeah, y'all just do what y'all do. You can take these tips, or you can say fuck these tips and do whatever you want. But yeah, just my 5 tips to mentally becoming a better photographer, or anything you do creatively for that matter. Anyway, I need like an outro or some shit.
Well, that's a dumb question. You do that even though.
Anyway, I'll probably say some shit like, yeah, Big Bud, signing out, nigga.